All right, test tomorrow. Number one, we're dividing, but it's by a monomial. There's no plus or minus, so we just need to set it up as 3 separate fractions and move that to the denominator. 3rs, 3rs, 3rs. And so if we moved it to the bottom, it's no longer over there. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Where there are more r's, there's more on top. And remember, when we divide, we subtract. So 2 minus, that's technically 1, is 1. 2 minus 1, that's 1. Bring down my plus sign. And there was no more denominator, so I don't need to make this a fraction. 9 divided by 3 is 3. R's are matched, so they cancel. More s's on top. 3 minus 1 is 2. Minus 15 divided by 3 is 5. R, so 2 minus 1 is 1, and the s's match, so they cancel. This is as simple as it gets, so there's my answer. Number 2 is the exact same way because we're dividing by a monomial. I'm going to be lazy and I'm just going to separate my 3 terms and rewrite my denominator. Now this one doesn't simplify as pretty, and that's fine. 5 over 10 simplifies to 1/2. There's more m's and n's on top. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So there's my answer. Minus 2 over 10 is 1/5. If you struggle with fractions, y'all, use your calculator. Alpha, y equals enter. 2 over 10. It's 1/5. Now, there's more m's on bottom. 2 minus 1 is 1. And n's on top. 3 minus 1 is 2. Plus 4 over 10 is 2/5. And the m's and the n's match, so they cancel. Next we have long division. Now I know I'm doing long division for these because I have a plus and minus in the denominator. So we set these up. The top goes in the house. And it's 3, 2, 1, 0, so I'm not missing any degrees. 1, 0. And remember, it's farthest left divided by farthest left. So x cubed over x. Well, 3 minus 1 is 2. And then we multiply. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. And then we subtract. So remember, subtraction makes everything look opposite. This zeroes out, and I get negative 2x squared because negative 4 plus 2. And I bring down my next term. So now I have this term divided by this one. Well, that gives me negative 2x because 2 minus 1 is 1, and the negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. Multiply negative 2x times x is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 2 is positive 4x. But I subtract, so opposite, opposite. Zeroes out, and I get negative 2x. Bring down my last term. So now I have x, negative 2x divided by x. The x's cancel, and I have minus 2. Okay, and I have to multiply. So multiply negative 2x times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Opposite, opposite to subtract, and that leaves me with 1, which is a remainder. Remember, all remainders, we put a plus sign in a fraction bar, remainder on top, divisor on bottom. So my answer, that's not a negative, by the way, that was an arrow, is x squared minus 2x minus 2 plus 1 over x minus 2. So same thing here. Top goes inside. Bottom stays outside. So farthest left divided by farthest left. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Now we multiply, multiply. So 3x squared times 4x is 12x. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3x squared times 3 is positive 9x squared. Subtract, subtract. This zeroes out, and I get negative 20x squared. So I take my negative 20x squared divided by 4x. Well, negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. 2 minus 1 is I only have 1x left. Negative 5x times 4x is negative 20x squared. Negative 5x times 3 is negative 15x. Subtract, subtract, so opposite, opposite. This zeroes out, and I'm left with 24x. Yeah. Bring down my last term, so this is my last step. 24x divided by 4x. Well, the x's cancel. 24 divided by 4 is positive 6. 6 times 4x is 24x. 6 times 3 is 18. Opposite, opposite. Well, look, 24 minus 24 is 0. 18 minus 18 is 0. I have a remainder of 0. My answer is 3x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, so now we're looking at laws of exponents by simplifying using the laws of exponents. Here we have power to a power, so I need everything to go to the fourth power. Well, that's technically 3 to the fourth power, and then power to a power means multiply exponents. So 3 times 4 is 12, 5 times 4 is 20, and then 2 to the fourth power. Well, 3 to the fourth power is 81, and 2 to the fourth power is 16. Make sure that doesn't simplify, and it does not. So this becomes 81x12y20 over 16. So here we have a power to a power and multiplication. So I have to get rid of my power first so I can multiply. So negative 2 squared is positive 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. And remember, this is technically 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm multiplying. I don't need this parentheses because there's no exponents or anything. Times 5xyz to the fifth. So 4 times 5 is 20. x6 times x, well, that's 6 and 1 more, so 7. y4 times y, 4 and 1 more is 5. Z squared z, 5. Z 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. So remember, when we multiply, we're adding our exponents. Okay, next we have this one again, power to a power, so 5 to the fourth power. And then 7 times 4 is 28. Well, 5 to the fourth power is 625. So it's 625x to the 28th power. This one can be a little confusing, so we have to get rid of the power to a powers first. So multiply, multiply. 7 times 8 is 56 over y. 8 times 4 is 32. Times, because we don't need parentheses once we get rid of that power to a power. 3 times 10, 3 times 10, well, those are both 30. Well, technically when you multiply, multiply. Well, these don't combine. So I'm just going to write them in alphabetical order. And now we're technically dividing, so we simplify. Well, there's more x's on top with 56 and 30 on bottom, so x on top. 56 minus 30 is 26. And there's more y's on bottom. 32 minus 30 is 2. Okay, look at number 9. Again, power to a power. So 2 to the fourth power is 16. 5 to the fourth power also is 625. So 16. K, 3 times 4 is 12. J, 4 times 7 is 28. No. Yes. Losing my mind, y'all. 28 over 625. K, 2 times 4 is 8. And it's technically 1, so 4 times 1 is 4. And now we simplify. Well, 16 over 25 does not, or 625, sorry, does not simplify. There are more k's on top. 12 minus 8 is 4. And there are more j's on top. 28 minus 4 is 24. So here's our answer. Last but not least, this one has negative exponents. So negative means it's on the wrong side of the fraction. So if it's on the bottom, I move it to the top and it becomes positive. If it's on the top, I move it to the bottom and it becomes positive. Also, anything with 0 power equals 1. So technically, I have 20 y squared z 4 over, well, 5 times 1 is just 5, x, I'm going to bring over this x squared because this is the x that was already there, and then the x squared, and that's it. Well, 20 divided by 5 is 4. All my x's are on bottom, so 2 plus 1 is 3, y squared, and then 4 plus 1 is 5. Make sure you show your work on those so I can help y'all. Okay, last but not least is scientific notation. So write it in scientific notation. Well, I know I need 4.23 because I need that one number. I need to make it between 1 and 10 times 10, and it's going to be a positive because this is bigger than 1. So here's where my current decimal is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is less than 1, so I'm going to have 5.07 times 10 to the negative something. Well, here's my current decimal, and that's where I want it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my answer. Now the next two look super similar. 8, though, means I'm making it bigger than 1. I'm moving it to the right because it's positive. Negative is left. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. That means 4 empty loops, so 4 zeros. So 7, 2, 3, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 zeros. And then every 3 gets a comma. 1, 2, 3. So there's my answer. Now 8 to the left is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put the decimal. If y'all don't put a decimal, I'm going to take points off. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 empties because the 7 is in that one. So 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 2, 3, 1, 5. Now, this next one. Says the light density of chlorine is this. Well, it's negative, so I know I'm making something smaller than 1. Well, if I move it 1, 2, 3, that leaves me at 2 empties, so I should have 2 zeros, so 0.002, which is B. Last one. Again, it should be a positive number, and they all are. So here's where I want it, 2.6. Well, the only one that has a 2.6 is B, so that's my only option for a correct answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which it was moved 8 times to the left, so that is correct. All right, good luck on your test, guys.